Hi there, Bharath. So you've written your first set of essays. Great. Nice to see that. Let's take a look and see what you wrote here, okay? So the first essay is about schools, whether they should be more entertaining or should merely educate, and let's see what you said. Okay, so parents want their children to learn concepts on academic topics, but children get bored learning subjects without practical applications, so some people suggest teaching should be entertaining. Here I place my opinion that educational institutes should teach children in an interesting way. This essay will discuss both using examples of education and entertainment to demonstrate points and support arguments. Okay, I changed the word kids because it's not academic. We don't say kids in IELTS essays, so we prefer the word children. All right, let's see the body paragraphs. Firstly, students do not enjoy going to school regularly, no comma, when they are forced to study subjects which they are not interested in. This is because educational institutes mainly focus on academic subjects. For example, a recent survey conducted by Stanford University shows that students who spend at least 2 hours of time in sports or console games tend to have better spatial awareness than others. Therefore, schools should include sports along with academic subjects. Okay. Secondly, group activities are always fun and enjoyable because children are given a chance to interact and share their opinion with others. To illustrate, the Women and Children Welfare Organization of Finland report indicates, no comma, that children learn concepts much faster when they complete assignments in a group than individually. Hence, educational institutes should include more group projects and activities. Okay, to conclude from examples and arguments given, I firmly believe that, no comma, in future, education will be made up of simple and interesting manner. Will be made simple and interesting with practical applications. Okay. No new sentence here, so that technical and complicated mathematical concepts will be understood. All right. So let's talk about this a little bit. The idea is if schools should be more entertaining. Let's see what you talked, let's see how you discussed this aspect of entertainment. Here, all of a sudden you start talking about sports or console games and that they develop better spatial awareness. Okay, here's what's happening. Look at this. First of all, you say that students don't like school because they're not interested in these subjects, and that's because the subjects are academic. And then all of a sudden, you start talking about sports and console games, which develop better spatial awareness. And I didn't see how that was relevant at all. Okay, and then you're saying that schools should include sports with academics. So I didn't feel like these ideas really linked to each other at all. Let me see. I don't know if that makes sense. They're not interrelated. So the spatial awareness with the console games and the academic subjects, and then they should add more sports. It doesn't all go together. Okay? And then here you talked about group activities that are fun and enjoyable, and then you said that they learn concepts faster in a group. Therefore, they should include more. This was fine. It just felt very, very short and underdeveloped. I really would like to see more extension here. Maybe some more sentences, some more ideas. Just it needs to have a little more information. It felt very underdeveloped, okay? Even though I liked what you wrote. Then, when we go to this conclusion, remember the role of a conclusion. You're simply supposed to restate and more or less wrap up the things that you have already talked about. Here, this was okay, but then this part about the technical and complicated mathematical topics, like that was completely irrelevant. You never talked about it anywhere elsewhere in the essay, so I didn't understand why you were putting it in your conclusion. Your conclusion should not present any new information. And all this about technical and complicated mathematical concepts was new and not really relevant to anything you had said so far. Okay, so let's take a look now at your second essay, the one about an enjoyable activity. Here's what you said. Many children what? Many kids playing centers. All right, many children's, apostrophe S, playing centers suggest that, no comma, learning with an activity is always better than just reading a book. In my opinion, I completely agree with this statement, with the statement that practical activities give better understanding than just theory. This essay will discuss how sports and creative activities help children in understanding subjects using examples and arguments. All right, be careful. This sounds like you're talking about school again, although my understanding is that this essay isn't talking just about school. I always interpret it to talk about, as talking about reading in leisure time or just in general. So I don't know about understanding subjects, how relevant that is. It's about developing skills and creativity. Okay, so let's see how you develop it before we draw any conclusions, okay? Firstly, physical activities help, no S, to improve concentration and learning abilities, S, for a child. This is because playing sports like basketball, volleyball, or other sports gives good exercise and is also important for developing spatial awareness, with a T, not a C. For example, a recent study by Northwestern University states that children who are involved in any sport, no S, tend to have better focus and grasping capacity when compared to other children who do not play any games. You didn't need a comma here. Therefore, parents should try to get some quality time in their busy schedule, no comma, so that they can teach any physical game to children. Okay, it's fine. The grammar has some problems, but other than that, it's fine. Secondly, creative writing, drama, or any other art activities which are good for entertainment and also collaboration with others. Secondly, creative writing, drama, or any other art activities are good for entertainment and also collaboration with others, thus improving interpersonal skills. So you have to get rid of this which, and you have to make this an ing. To illustrate this, in France, lowercase I, in France, it is compulsory for all schools to include curricular activities like theater or other group activities so that children are encouraged to get along with others in groups, S, and share their ideas. This makes French people to be very outgoing and good at aesthetic sense. Okay, that's awkward. This makes French people very outgoing and have a good aesthetic sense. Hence, parents should make sure their children take up any art classes in their EIR free time. Okay, to conclude from the above examples and arguments, I firmly believe that in future all educational institutions will include creative games and arts to teach children, which helps them to understand academic subjects. Okay. Again, I didn't really feel like this was about school. I've always interpreted this to be about leisure time, so I don't know that I just necessarily agree with all of this emphasis on school. Then I felt like this was a little strangely developed. Let me show you why. So you said that these art activities require collaboration, improving interpersonal skills. Then you said that France does this, and then you said it makes the French outgoing and have a good aesthetic sense. Therefore, parents should. Okay. What about the creativity? You didn't really talk about that. I thought you were going to when you talked about this. But your focus here was on interpersonal skills and collaboration. It should have been on creativity. Okay? So you should have mentioned a little bit more about that. Let's see. So that would be my problem with this. While you mentioned the word creative, it wasn't really so much about creativity as it was about interpersonal skills. So that's something I would like to see fixed a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Creative games and arts to help. All right. And again, that's not the goal to understand academic subjects. That's not what they have asked you to talk about, but just about developing better skills and creativity. Okay, so make sure that you remain focused on what they have asked you to talk about and not going off in a different direction. All right? Okay, so Bharath, so here's what you have to do. Number one, you have to correct these essays based on this video correction. and return it back to us. The second thing you have to do is create an error correction list where you write down all the mistakes that were pointed out to you. And next to each mistake, write down what the suggested correction would be. This is a list you're going to add to with each video correction you get back. And then the third thing, of course, is to write a new set of essays. You should try to do this within the next 24 hours or so you can apply everything you've been learning so far. Go ahead and get all of those things started. Let's meet back here with your next set of essays, okay? I'm looking forward to them. Good luck.